All right, Tom, Rivian's EDV, the electric delivery van, is now getting a boost of range, and we're expecting to see an all-wheel drive variant. You love vans, you love campers, you love
Mhm.
all things big commercial electric. What were your thoughts?
I'm stoked. After seeing the EDVs in person at normal years ago and seeing how there's so much open space in the chassis just being unused, I'm like, this is a no-brainer. Long range, all-wheel drive vans would be perfect for, Amazon would love it, of course, but even just commercial buyers in general, van conversions, everything. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah. So if you're not caught up to speed, Rivian's electric delivery van, the Rivian commercial van, the van that they sell to Amazon that they use for deliveries, is getting a new upgrade. So we're expecting to see an all-wheel dual motor drive variant as well as a bigger battery. Now, as Tom just mentioned, underneath the EDV, there's like this giant like space. And I guess they like
Mhm.
anticipated this when they first started producing it, that the battery would be a lot smaller and that they would leave space to have more battery, but there's just a giant hole to add more battery. And so we're expecting a 30% increase in range. Currently, it's like, what is it, 160 miles on the EDV?
Yeah, on a good
So
day.
it's like 200 miles of range estimated, which is, I think, a good sufficient bump, a
Mhm.
good 40 miles that a lot of delivery drivers would like to see. But also, all-wheel drive, that's going to help a lot of delivery drivers who are in like colder climates or like, dirt roads that maybe a little wet.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, so the EDV starts at $79,900. I think this is probably the biggest limitation of the EDV. I'm not sure if many people are familiar with the electric delivery van lineup across from Mercedes and Ford, and Stellantis has one, and GM had the Bright Drop Zevo that or just the GM van that they've recently discontinued. But compared to them, comparably, the EDV RCV was actually on the lower mid-range, lower performance kind of. There was nothing like crazy about it that I think made it stand out, and so I think all-wheel drive and bigger range would kind of help it compete more. What were you thinking?
Yeah, it definitely would. And also kind of bring it up to par with just because you have to deal with, like to your point, weather, anything like that. Other van offerings, I believe, have dual motor offerings. The e-Sprinter does, if I recall correctly. So it just brings up to par. And then also the e-Sprinter and e-Transit already have had higher range as well compared to EDV. It was always limited to 160, and then also when limited to very slow DC charging, which I think we'll also see go away. I think it already did. It went up to 100 kilowatts now versus 50,
Right.
if I recall correctly, which is, I mean, still not the fastest, but it's better than 50. Um, but yeah, all-wheel drive would help a ton. I'm wondering if it'll have the same enduro clutch disconnect. So during long highway sessions or stuff like that, it'll shut off one of them, probably the rear, like R1 does
Right.
already, and hopefully improve that range further. In addition to the bigger battery, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's a good point. The current dual motor R1 vehicles have that clutch disconnect. So it's primarily front wheel drive. And then when you want more power, all wheel drive will kick in the rear motors,
Mhm.
and then it'll give you a little more torque and power. And I imagine, yeah, I guess the same thing would happen here.
Yeah, I'd hope so. It would make sense. It would make more sense for that than the cars, honestly. It's annoying in my R1S, but it makes sense for a van.
Now, I know for Amazon specifically, I think this is something that they wanted originally. I think this is probably an article that was years ago at this point, but they talked about wanting a little bit more range. And if you look on like Reddit forums of like the Amazon delivery drivers, like I'll preview it and see what they're saying. And they say like the range is pretty good, but there's a noticeable drop in winter. And
Mhm.
so during the winter, having that 30% bump, having 40 more miles of range is going to probably be a significant like boost when it comes to just daily operations. I mean,
Mhm.
we've seen those pictures of those Amazon EDVs like transferring packages between them, and that's probably just
Yeah.
routine. But I imagine some of those are like one might have been running out of range or something,
Yeah, like a hint,
and
hint.
they gotta move it to another one, and then maybe they have to DC fast charge. But if they don't have to do that, they can on one full charge go from one destination to the next destination back to the DSP, and that's perfect.
Hmm. Yeah, that'd be great. And to your point, it probably is focused on winter. If anything, it's fixing both of the traction issues and then range issues. It'll help for overall buyers for overall stuff, but the current one gets the job done. Summer and fall perfectly. Winter is probably where it struggles. I wouldn't know about that because I live in Florida, but I'm pretty sure other people
Right.
would see them struggle in the winter and the snow and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's this viral video. Maybe you could pull that up, but of like an EDV like sliding back on a hill.
Oh,
Like
I've seen
I think
that.
this was in the news. Yeah, it was like I guess it just could not handle like the steep incline. Probably needed some more power, and it immediately just kind of fell off. But from directly from Rivian's own shareholder letter, our partnership with Amazon remains strong. Amazon now has over 30,000 custom built Rivian electric delivery vans. I believe at the end of 2024, that was a bit above 20,000. So that gives us about 10,000 of those vans delivered during 2025. Delivering packages across thousands of cities in the US, Rivian commercial vans have been specifically designed around the delivery process to minimize the total cost per package delivered through features such as an automatic bulkhead door that opens as the driver gets to their destination, as well as bringing a significant total cost of ownership reduction relative to the internal combustion engine delivery vans. In addition to the EDV front-wheel drive standard battery pack variant already on the road, we're developing new variants of the van with a larger battery pack and all-wheel drive. The larger battery pack brings a 30% increase in range, while all-wheel drive improves traction in conditions like mud and snow. These new variants will expand EDV route coverage in Amazon's network.
Hmm. Very exciting. I'm hoping it does. I'm pretty sure it will. I'm hoping it does also the RCV lineup too, so that external buyers outside of Amazon can take advantage of this.
Yeah, we
Myself
have quite
included.
a lineup. I wonder if I know Walmart. I've seen them in Orlando. Walmart has those Bright
Yeah,
Drop
we got brake
GM
drops.
vans.
Yep.
Yeah, FedEx I think does as well.
And Walmart actually has a few e-transits I've seen. Very small amount, but I've seen some e-transits around here. So they're trying. I'd love to see more people get the EDVs because they look awesome. They're so cool.
Yeah,
And I think cost wise, I mean, again, that's the only thing. Cost wise is where I don't want to know what the max or large all wheel drive is going to cost because I'm kind of scared because I want to buy one.
yeah,
But compared to Sprinter, compared to Bright Drop is a really good value, which is pretty insane. It's probably the biggest of them in size, maybe at least from like overall just mass, and big battery packs in there too. Bright Drops are very, very, and that's just the GMEV way. And so,
yeah. The Bright Drop van got better charging, higher peak charging, rather, of course, is a curve, comparable space to the EDV, and there was also an all-wheel drive variant with more range. And so all of that for a cheaper price. So
mhm.
you look at that, it's like, okay, you have Rivian that has this really cool van. Maybe it's something for branding, it's this cool van with these giant headlights, with a
The big
happy
guys.
face. But like, on from a business point of view, when you're trying to maximize your profit and you want the most amount of range per mile, or just you want to go electric, but there's a cost to this, you're going to go with something like a Ford e-Transit, which starts around $50,000 for similar range and similar space.
Hmm. Exactly. And then Bright Drops are right in that 60-ish area. I forget what they are. I was looking at them. It was pretty funny. I was like considering one because I'm still looking at EV camper conversions. I'm an EV camping enthusiast. I use my Lightning to power my Coleman for camping. It'd be awesome to have just an all-in-one solution for this stuff. I mean, Bright Drop be kind of weird as a camper, looks wise, but you know,
They do have some campers, third-party companies that turn them
yeah.
into campers. It'd be cool to get our hands on that and see what that is like. But 272 miles of range, 614 cubic feet of cargo capacity.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
the
Starting at
pricing offer is a
26.
little bit better.
Yeah. And then we have, EDV standard in the 70s. So that's where you're
Right.
like, how will it work budget wise for fleets? Because I also like to see, to your point, like EV conversion companies, like, converting companies are going very hard on Sprinters and Ram Pro Masters. Ford Transit's a little bit less, but it'd be really nice to see them start doing EV converters like this. But at the price, that's where everything kind of falls apart. 700. I also wonder if it'll be on both chassis. It might end up just being the 700 that will get the large pack, maybe. I mean, I think they could probably fit it in 500. If I'm remembering what I saw in person, I think it could still fit a large pack in there.
Probably.
So they could do it, all-wheel drive large for both of those. They should do an all-wheel drive max for the 700. Just forget budget. Just go all the way full, like true max pack on there, and you can get 300 miles on there. The price wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't care.
Yeah, these vans, starting at $83,900.
Yeah.
Again, Bright Drop Zevo, that's 50. Stellantis, the Freightliner or Mercedes E-Sprinter, that's around 50,000. And then you get to the EDV RCV, that's such a big jump in price. I wonder if Rivian is locked in some sort of contract with Amazon for price per unit that they can't just lower the price on the front end because then Amazon's going to be paying more. And so they got to keep this high price up on the front end and still charge Amazon a big price at the same time. I wonder if we will be seeing a price decrease of some sort because, again, you can get all-wheel drive with more range and faster charging and similar cargo capacity from way different offerings, which is weird coming from us Rivian owners and Rivian people. It's like Rivian's got this, and then the charging's okay, the range is good, software is great, and against a lot of the competition, they're really paving a way. But then when it comes to the fleets, it's a little bit of a different conversation.
100%.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments about the Bright Drop van. I would like to see this as a camper. I mean, we saw an EDV with a side door, so there is some configurability here. Windows, right? Why doesn't Rivian just come out with a camper or something? The adventure lifestyle, more range, faster charging. Make it a part of the R1 lineup that people can just take and kind of road trip with. But it is, as spec, hardware-wise, it is not built to do that. And so we'll see if that comes with some changes with the new model year, with the new all-wheel drive and larger pack variants.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Probably just do a outro. I'm not even sure if that was an outro. How do you usually do? How do you usually do? I haven't filmed like this in a minute.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just okay. And I end the video. I'm terrible at it.
All right, TJ, you got anything else? Any other thoughts?
I just really want to see I want to see more of these on the road. I'm just now seeing EVs in my area, which is funny because I live right next to an Amazon warehouse where they're loaded up at. But it's good to actually see them in person. I want to be able to see more, more non-Amazon vans showing up, please. That's what I really want to see. But I think this is moving in the right direction.
Yeah, there are a lot of distribution networks with Amazon. They're DSPs. I don't even remember what that acronym's for, but where packages come from that just don't have the Amazon vans. I live not too far from one, and they don't have the Amazon vans. I know at one point I was talking to someone, and it seems like they want to get them. So there's still a lot of room for Amazon to implement these vans elsewhere. But at this point, they are in hundreds of cities across North America, and they're in Germany as well. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Out of Spec Bits, and we will see you guys in the next one.
See ya.